WTBQ.
Good morning and welcome to Creative Marketing. I'm Allan Ross, president of AJRoss Creative Media. For more than 27 years, we've helped businesses, both large and small, grow their market share and brand awareness. In the coming weeks, I'll have a variety of guests giving their insights, discussing recent trends, and sharing personal stories about their marketing experience. We also are here to hear your point of view and answer your marketing questions. So call us at 845-651-1110. Again, 845-651-1110, or you could text us at 845-397-7743. Again, 845-397-7743. In the coming weeks, I'll have Edison Guzman, president of A&E Advertising, which will be next week, and Charlie Graham on the 19th, president of Volume 8 Advertising. Today, my guest is a good buddy of mine. We've worked many years together, Kristin Jensen from Catholic Charities. Hi, Kristin.
Good morning, Alan. How are you?
I'm good. How are you? Listen,
good, thanks.
I just want to tell a little background. I guess you are the Director of Communications Development? Or
Chief Advancement Officer at Catholic Charities of Orange, Sullivan and Ulster.
And you also Marketing Director with Eddie Diana, right?
I was assistant to the county executive, press secretary, a number of different hats while I was there.
And you worked with McKay Children's Services. You have your own PR firm, Jensen Communications.
Yeah, I sure do.
Great. So, how's it going over at Catholic Charities?
Things are good, busy. We have a lot of events going on. Our next big event, our fundraising is very event-driven. We do 4 big events each year. Our next event is actually right here in Warwick, where we are today. It's the Country Roads Bike Tour, the Ride with the Camels, and we start and finish at Warwick Town Park, and that's a great fundraiser not only for Catholic Charities, but also Big Brothers Big Sisters of Orange County and the Sanctuary for Animals. And it's a fun day of riding, 10, 25, 45, 65-mile ride options, beautiful Orange County countryside, food, fun, live music, camels. We call it the Ride with the Camels because of our friends at the Sanctuary for Animals with their famous camels.
Well, Dean sure is going to have to write me a check now. Talking about Dean, how is it having a nice Jewish boy running the Catholic Charities?
Dean is great, and that goes. Dean being Jewish goes right to our mission that we provide help and create hope for anybody in need, regardless of their religion, regardless of their ability to pay. He's a wonderful boss. Hopefully, he's listening to me saying that.
Yeah, I like you too, Dean. I know through friends and my own experience, well, I haven't gone there, but Catholic Charities has really helped a lot of addicts and young people, especially with the opioids. I mean, I think it's been a wonderful, that's one of the main things you guys do, don't you?
Unfortunately, it is. The addiction treatment program is our biggest program that we have at Catholic Charities of Orange, Sullivan and Ulster, and it's the one of the biggest treatment programs for addiction in the Hudson Valley. And I hate to say it, it's a problem that continues to grow despite the best efforts of agencies like ours and many of our community partners and the Office of Mental Health. It's a challenge, and one of the biggest challenges is reducing that stigma, having conversations, recognizing that people have a disease and they need help, and families shouldn't stick their heads in the sand. They need to talk about it.
It's unbelievable, too. And it's, when I was growing up, my dad used to take me to Harlem and say, look at the heroin addicts. You don't want to do that. It's not that. It's not the Bowery. It's young people with college educations, upper middle class. I guess they get hooked on opioids when they have whatever.
Prescription painkillers are often a gateway to the problem. It can happen to any one of us. There, but for the grace of God, go I.
Yeah. And they still prescribe them like it's candy.
They do, and that's why people need to advocate for themselves, ask questions, really think about what's being prescribed to them or to their loved ones. And just because a doctor gave you a 30-day prescription doesn't mean that you need to take that or take any prescription if you can manage your pain with something else.
Unfortunately, doctors gives you 30 days with 5 refills. That's what I've heard too, which is
well, a lot of that is being addressed, and hopefully, changes are happening with the attention to it.
Yeah.
But again, the conversations have to happen. People need to recognize that there's a problem and understand that there's help available. Nobody has to go through it alone.
No.
There's great support systems out there and agencies like Catholic Charities and others in the community who can help.
Yeah. Now, of course, it's a non-for-profit Catholic Charities. And tell us how they get their money. How does Catholic Charities get their money?
So we're fortunate to be affiliated with Catholic Charities of the Archdiocese of New York City. But we do all of our fundraising locally, and what we do locally stays locally. As I said when we first started chatting, we're very event-driven in the fundraising that we do. We do 4 main events each year. We do a big awards dinner in the spring. We do a fun golf outing each year. As I said, we have the Country Roads Bike Tour, and then in December we have the Goshen Christmas House Tour. So very event driven, but we also work toward a lot of those tried and true fundraising methods. We do a year-end appeal. We do a lot of relationship building and community outreach and using social media and the donate now button on our website, all of those things. It's a very competitive market for fundraising here in Orange County and in the Hudson Valley. There's a lot of great organizations doing really good, important work, but that means there's competition for a small pool of fundraising dollars. So it's a lot of creative marketing that we need to do to be successful and maintain our agency.
Well, me being Jewish, I mean, when you go to the synagogue, they give you the Jewish guilt with the money. Does that happen with the Catholics?
Well, we're very fortunate to have some very strong supporters who support us because of their belief in the values of the Catholic faith and the mission, as I said, to provide help and create hope. It's to help one's neighbors, but. I'm sure there's some guilt in there, but there's a lot of really great people in Orange County who just want to do what's right for the community, to lend a hand up to their neighbors in need.
It's a wonderful organization,
Thank you.
I'm very happy to be much involved with it.
Thank you. We appreciate it.
Yeah. What does it mean to be Chief Advancement Officer?
I'm still learning what it means to be Chief Advancement Officer. I think it's a jack of all trades in some ways, but it's kind of being responsible for all things that have to do with the brand and the image and the relationships of the organization, from fundraising and donor relations and community outreach to some things as small as not small, because we know how important it is. Carlos would kill me to hear me say small, but the importance of branding and managing our brand and making sure it's used consistently. I get the reputation for being the graphics police or the standards enforcer, because I want to see what things people slap our logo onto before they just send it out the door. I'm sure again Carlos would look at it and say, well, that's a logo that's 3 versions ago, or you squished that logo and that circle in your design is now an oval instead of a circle. There's importance to the brand so that people look at us, they know who we are and what we do just by the colors and the look of that great brand that our friends at AJRoss Creative Media have built for us.
Thank you. I have a question.
Yes, sir.
Who's Carlos? Let's get away.
Best creative director I've ever worked with.
Now I have to give him a raise. No, he's been between him and Matthew Ross.
They're a great team.
Yeah, they're wonderful.
You're very lucky to have
In fact, he just texted me, and he wants to ask a question to you.
Where is my proof?
What do you find to be the most successful way to spread the message of the company? Or any? Well, let me preface this. Let's move away from Catholic Charities. You and I have been working together for the last 10 years. You've done PR for me. I've done
Time
things.
flies.
Time flies when you're having fun. And you know, I've always said I only like working with the best people, and you're one of the best that I've ever worked with. A great writer, and you know, how have you seen the marketing and the way people market their companies change since the last 10 years?
Well, even in the time that we've been working together, just the advancement of electronic media and social media, and just keeping up with the trends. And that's what's great about folks like Carlos and Matt, who really are on top of those trends and know how to work with them. But it's not. We still do direct mail, but it's a very small direct mail. There's a lot of different ways to do direct mail. We use a lot of e-blasts and things like that now.
All right. Well, we're going to take a short break, and we'll be back again. If you'd like to call us, it's 845-651-1110.
AJRoss Creative Media is the premier marketing, advertising agency, web design, and social media company in the Hudson Valley. AJRoss connects their clients with prospective customers by generating powerful marketing and advertising concepts. Meet with the AJRoss team and you'll walk away with a new and innovative approach that'll bring your company to the next level. Contact the AJRoss team and set up a free consultation and get started with the best. Visit AJRoss.com.
This is Zach Kruk of WTBQ Radio. Keep up to date with all your local news every weekday on the Frank Truatt Morning Show right here on WTBQ, radio worth listening to.
WTBQ. Hi, it's Allan Ross again with Creative Marketing. I'm here with Kristin Jensen. This has been a lot of fun, Kristin.
It sure has. Thank you for inviting me.
I don't have to talk that much with you. It's great. Again, we've been working a lot together. We worked with Eddie, Diana. We've done a lot of things to get. You've done writing for my company and my clients. You've helped me write PR for different clients, including Finkelstein and Partners and all those sort of things. How do you incorporate public relations in the work that you do?
I think public relations, and regardless of what your organization does, what your business does, you need to use public relations to tell them what you're doing. Lots of times there's big news things that are going to hit the news, but sometimes you have to create your own news as well. Get the word out about different things that might be going on with your organization. Things that might hit a different part of the newspaper or the news stream. Promotions, new hires, degrees that people have achieved, awards, those sorts of things. And also talking about the work that you do in a different sort of way than your print ad or your website. I always say that, especially when you relate fundraising and public relations together, or fundraising and marketing together, people won't give to you if they don't know or understand the work that you're doing. So it's important that those two always go hand in hand.
Yeah.
If you're going to have your hand out asking for money, you want people that you're asking to understand what it is that your organization does and the value that you're bringing to the community. And that's where that public relations and a good marketing campaign comes in.
Yeah. Also, I think very, very important, and I've seen it with. I have you send out the PRs a lot because you have personal relationships with a lot of the media. And when they see it coming from you, sometimes they place it. Also, it's
Are you saying people like me better than they like you?
they're starting to like me better. In fact, we're working with the Council of Industry, and if you saw the papers on Sunday and Monday, there's big articles about with Dan Axelrod, and the Council of Industry asked if I could try to get them an article in the paper, and I usually speak with Mike Levinson, but I called Dan, and Dan knows who we are, and he thought it was a great story, and boom. I mean, it was wonderful. I mean,
that was great coverage. Congratulations.
Well, thank you. Congratulations to the Council of Industry. But but you have to have a good story.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, he kept on asking me, well, I did a story about, the apprentice program in October. I said, this is different. We've had with the campaign that we're doing for them, we've had over 2,000 leads come in from the campaign. He says, no, you didn't. I said, yes, they did. And we showed it, and he did a great story, and he's become a good ally. He's a very, very good writer. He's very passionate, and he likes what he's doing. So,
Great.
also, when I have a story and I want to get it in, hopefully into the Poughkeepsie Journal, I send it to whoever it is. But, Jim, who's the publisher, I send it to him too. Maybe, he can push it through too. You can't. Let's talk about this. In the old days, it used to be advertorial versus editorial. Mm-hmm. Where one doesn't have let me rephrase it. One has nothing to do with the other. In the old days, when print was really happening, I understand it. But when I started buying a lot of media, and I say, look, we have a PR, can you place it? Well, I don't care if you're buying a lot of media. If we want to place it, we'll place it. So I called the sales guy and I said, I'm going to pull the $10,000 ad this week. Thank you. Why? Well, if I can't get help from you to place an ad or place PR, I'll go somewhere else. But
that's where the value of those personal relationships is so important, that they recognize who you are and the work that you're doing. And, they notice your name when it pops across their email. Those reporters and editors are receiving, I can't even imagine how many emails a day. And what do you do to make sure that yours makes it through? That is it your name? Is it your subject line? What is it that makes your piece of email pop out from all the rest?
Or is it the money I'm taking off the table?
Well, even before that.
I know.
But relationships are important. They can make or break the success of an organization.
Yeah. And discuss about branding, your views about branding.
Well, I was saying earlier, I've kind of got the reputation for being the branding police, or the graphics standard enforcer. It's something that I learned early on in my career. And, you look at everybody. Nike's a huge example this week, but, what is that brand that you have that people automatically, see your logo, see your name, and they equate with it a certain reputation or value. And that's why you want to make sure that your brand it comes through loud and clear in everything that you do, that you've got standard colors, that you work with a couple of standard typefaces, not that you're one color this week and a different color next week. You want people to just be able to look and see and know and feel comfort and confidence in your brand, and how that all works together to just establish who you are and your reputation as an organization.
I also think branding, besides what you're saying, is when your website. I mean,
I was just going to say, it should cross all platforms.
Yeah.
The brand that you have on your print media should be the same brand that you have in your signage, should be the same brand that you have on your website, should be the same brand that you have in your social media. Now, not to say you wouldn't play with it a little bit to appeal to the specific audiences that use each of those.
Also, the value of your brand. I've said to clients, you can have a beautiful website, you can have a beautiful logo, you can have And then if somebody comes and calls you to do the work or to hire you, and if your work's not good, or if somebody calls and speaks to somebody on the phone and they're rude, nothing. It doesn't.
Sure, the brand is just one part. It needs to be supported by every single person in your agency or in your business. That's why I think it's so important, and why I drive some of my colleagues crazy when I say I'd like to see this before you send it out, because I want to make sure it reinforces the image and the brand that we want. And that's why, as simple as, how do you answer the phone? Drives me crazy when I call somebody, a colleague or another business, and they answer the phone. Hello.
Yeah.
Maybe they knew it was me, maybe not, but I answer my phone every day. Kristin Jensen, Catholic Charities. How may I help you?
You're tough.
Want to get it right.
That's why we work so well together, because Carlos and Matthew, I mean, they're especially Carlos. He's crazy. I mean, he's just the stickler. Sometimes, I say, come on, Carlos, get it done. We got to get it out. No, I can't.
He makes sure it's right before it goes out, and that's part of his brand. I mean, he reached out to me the other day because we had adjusted the agency name, and he wanted to make sure that he had the commas right in our agency name. Mm-hmm. I mean, he paid attention to that level of detail.
Yeah.
That each comma. I mean, half my coworkers don't know if it's where the commas go.
I taught them everything they know.
I have no doubt.
Okay.
That's how I've learned everything. 10 years of working with you.
Question: when you are writing a PR piece for somebody, and somebody calls you, say, "I need this. Here's what's happening." What's your beginning and end of
process
the process? Yes.
For writing a press release, gathering as much background information as possible, learning about the organization that it's being written for. If it's for an event, getting flyers, making sure every PR piece should have that who, what, when, where, why, and how in it. It's a little bit of a formula in some ways in terms of drafting the press release, but making sure that you're gathering the information, and that your information is accurate and that it's interesting.
Yeah.
So many of the publications that we work with, or the media that we work with now, they're working on tight budgets and limited staffing. So my goal is to make it as easy as possible for those people to use what we're sending.
Now, we're experts. I mean, this is what we've been doing. No, I'm not. How about when you do stuff, you write some copy, or you're doing some other work for a client, and the client knows more than you do?
Well, I would like to think that they know more than I do about their business and about their organization. I hope that if we have some differences of opinions about how to implement that, they'll rely on me or my expertise. There's a reason that you've asked me to do this. This is what I would recommend. It's always a little bit of a educating each other. I'm going to learn about your organization. I'm going to give you a little bit of information about how to present your organization or how to achieve your goal.
Right. We're coming to the end of the segment. Let's get a little. How's the kids in college? How you feeling?
That's not fair. Today's the first day of school, and I drove by the high school and I almost cried because I had nobody in there. But everybody's settling in well. I'm very happy, very proud of them, and a little.
You're an empty nester.
A little uncertain about being an empty nester. But look, now I have time to do these amazing things like going on the radio and stepping out and trying something different, challenging myself.
The reason you're here is your husband called, "Get her out of the house." No, he's a good guy. So, I know I remember when Matthew was going to New Paltz, and it was like, he's my only child. And 3 days before he's leaving, knowing him, I was by the pool and I broke down. I said, he's never coming back the same.
Oh, don't tell me that. I've had plenty of tears, and it's hard because they're not 45 minutes away at New Paltz. They're 2 and 4 hours away.
Yeah, for 45 minutes from New Paltz, it was like 200 miles with them. Tell me, but
well, don't make me sad.
No, you'll be fine. It's a good thing for the kids, and they'll come back, and especially the girl. She'll come back and, be mommy's girl again.
So it's it's the fulfillment of my job. They're off to college and being independent people.
So what else is in your future?
What else is in my future? We've got, as I said, a lot of events to keep up with, trying to get through that to-do list, keeping up with a website. You guys put together a great website for us, that WordPress platform I absolutely love. It's so easy to work with, but it needs to be maintained. We changed our name. We added a county, and now every mention of it has to be updated in the website. And that's important too. When, you got a website, make sure it's current, make sure it's active.
And how long did it take for your new logo to go up on your website?
For our new logo, just moments.
That's great. Well, we're coming to the end, Kristin. I can't thank you enough for being here. You're a good buddy of mine, but I think you're one of the best. And this is Allan Ross with AJRoss Creative Media. If we can help you in any way with your marketing, you give us a call at 845-783-5770 or go on our website at ajross.com. Thanks for listening.